the Jackson State Lady Tigers to Central Georgia tonight. My name's Phil Cox. Happy to have you with us. Mercer rolling in here this evening with a 4-8 record. Jackson State, as we said, enters with a 1-8 mark. Glad to have you with us. Merry Christmas to you. Hope you are having a safe, fun holiday season at this point. Mercer, as we said, looking for last couple of tune-ups before conference play begins January 11th at home versus Samford. And Jackson State, the opponent tonight, as the Bears, despite forcing 20 turnovers the other night, 13 in the first half, dropped its third straight game in a setback at Tulane, 73-46. Jackson State coming in, having dropped their last 7. They toughed out a 55-48 road win over ETSU back on November 9th, but it has been a struggle since then for the Tigers. A couple of first-year coaching staffs. We'll get into that a little bit more as we get going. But ready to go, as we said. Merry Christmas to you. Glad to have you with us. Some midweek basketball as the Tigers and the Bears set to tussle here in Macon. Our officials tonight: Chad Tucker is the referee. Tori Durrett and Tim Buckner are the umpires. So they've got the whistles tonight. Glad to have you along. And we're almost set to go. Not a bad crowd considering the students out on exams. And for a midweek game, as it normally is here in Hawkins Arena, should be a good atmosphere. We're underway. Tap is battled for. It goes right to the Bears, and they score. Just a few seconds into the game, Chelsea Bautista on the pass from Ashley Locke, and it's 2-0 Bears. Some pressure being put on in the backcourt by Mercer. And we're underway. Jackson State, as we said, under the first-year guidance of Margaret Richards, the Nebraska graduate, in her first season there, guiding the Lady Tigers. We'll, of course, get into Mercer a little bit more later. A new staff there, down low, and a nice move. Pivoting and scoring is Montoya. The senior from Carlsbad, New Mexico, gets Jackson State on the board. And Mercer back the other way. Really different look for the Bears this year. Of course, a brand new administration and, as you might imagine, a lot of new faces. Jump shot rims out as Diarra couldn't get it to go down. This is a Mercer team as the Bears will get another opportunity. A Bears team that has very good offensive balance. Don't have a player averaging in double figures. Nice pass. A second beautiful pass from Locke. And as Bautista couldn't finish that one, and here comes Jackson State the other way. Just a minute in here. Glad to have you along. Nice pass down low, and we're going to have our first foul as Diarra, coming over on help side defense, commits the hack. So first foul shots of the evening will come from Jackson State. And it will be the Tigers to the line. JSU team that averages about 51 points a game. As you get another look at that nice pass and that help defense coming over, as Jackson State will toe the stripe. A team that shoots about 67% as a team. First one no good, and another one coming. Where this Jackson State team has struggled has been the boards. They have been out-rebounded quite a bit this year. They are almost minus 12 in rebounding margin as a team. A Bears team that's minus 5. So you would think as we come up on conference play, rebounding the basketball will be a point of emphasis for both of these teams. Bears go for that one as Bautista came in, crashed in, tried to get it. But here's Dilworth the other way, team's leading scorer. She drives in a very, very late whistle, but the foul is going to be called on Locke. The foul on Locke becomes their first second team foul on the Bears. As we said, Dilworth leading the scoring charge, averaging better than 14 points a game for Jackson State. She's been really good in the last 4 games where she's averaged 22 points a contest as Cooper will come out. And as Jackson State making some changes. Dilworth, as we said, been so good of late. Had 17 points in that loss at Minnesota. So Dilworth with another one coming. And that one is good. And Jackson State leads 4-2. 18, or just a little more than 8 minutes up to play here in the first quarter. Mercer got that field goal on the tap. Looking to score ever since. Looks like Jackson State showing some zone here as the Bears trying to figure it out. Good penetration. Good take through traffic into the lane. And Diarra can't get the bounce. Here comes Jackson State the other way. As we said, a Tigers team that has struggled on the boards, doing a nice job rebounding here in the early minutes. Another nice take, and that time just out of bounds to Jackson State. Really good defense by Harris. As we said for Mercer, a team that's got good offensive balance as Jackson State makes a substitution. So some early changes here for Margaret Richards. Trying to go deep into that bench as I believe that ball was touched by Jackson State, and the Tigers will control. Driving in and scoring. Nice job by Massonet, the graduate student from Trenton, New Jersey, and it's 6-2 Jackson State. This is a JSU team averaging just about 51 points a game, has lost their last 7, but off to a good start here on the road, leading 6-2. As we said, rebounding needing to be an important part of Jackson State's attack. As another nice pass and finish, as that's Ariana Bennett, Edwardsville, Illinois junior, able to score. But both of Mercer's field goals have come very, very easily. And you like what the Bears have done in collecting easy shots. Missed shot. And Kayla Smith has got it the other way for the Bears. Mercer wasting no time scoring. In transition is Ashley Locke. Locke along with Bennett, one of only 2 Bears players to start all 12 games this year. New first-year head coach Michelle Clark-Hurd tinkering with the lineup, and of course some injuries that Mercer is dealing with, as Dilworth with a beautiful drive and finish. She has been the offense. When you look at what Jackson State has been doing offensively, you don't have to look much farther than Talia Dilworth. Senior out of St. Louis, Missouri, makes it 8-6. So Jackson State with some early subs. Diarra with a jump shot, no good. And once again, you like what Jackson State doing on the boards. One shot, and that's all for Mercer. 4 minutes in. And it's 8-6 Jackson State. Bears with some easy buckets here in the early going, but when they haven't been scoring, it's been one shot, and that's all. A beautiful take and finish by Jalea Cotton, junior from Bardstown, Kentucky. And Jackson State, again, they've struggled to put the ball in the basket at times, have come out executing very, very nicely here in the early going, shooting 80% here in the first half. There's a turnover. Jackson State team that's forcing about 8 steals a contest. Down low, and it stays in. A basket from Zoe Cooper and a timeout from Mercer. Michelle Clark-Hurd asking for a timeout as she has seen Jackson State balloon it to 12-6, and we'll step aside as well. Tigers off to a good start here on the road. Mercer on that drive as Bennett gets the and one opportunity. Can't capitalize. Mercer's first foul shot rims out, and here comes Jackson State the other way. So the Tigers shooting 5 of 6 going into that timeout, 83%, holding their own on the boards, limiting Mercer as the Bears force a turnover. Mercer looking to score in transition, but Jackson State taking it away. Bears shooting 3 of 8 from the field in the early going. Talk about that energy. Students are out near Christmas, have to kind of create your own energy. And you have to like what Jackson State is doing, as a step back 3 is good. Tigers playing with a ton of confidence as Massonet able to get it to drop down, and it's 15-8. What a start for the visitors here in Macon tonight. Michelle Clark-Hurd making some changes. As Palaska into the game for the Bears. Diarra on the drive. Finds an open teammate, and finishing down low is Bautista. Bautista getting open in the post and finishing. As she has 4 points here in the early going, 15-10. Another step back 3. That's good. A Jackson State team that is shooting just 25% from 3. Mercer has struggled from 3 as well, just 19.5%. But seeing a big basket right now is Jackson State as Diarra drives. She's fouled, and she'll head back to the line. Mercer commits fewer fouls than just about anybody in the SoCon. You have to feel like one of the keys for Mercer tonight, not only not allowing the other team to get to the line, but getting there themselves. And Diarra, very assertive there, getting to the line. Native of Barcelona, Spain. Can't knock down her first one. Bears shooting 73% from the line as a team. Second best in the conference. Diarra able to get the second one to go down. And the Jackson State lead is a half dozen. As we said, a couple of first-year administrations. Michelle Clark-Hurd taking over, of course, for Susie Gardner, and Margaret Richards in her first season guiding the Lady Tigers. Mercer still looking for that first three, and they find it. Kayla Smith, left-handed, drains the tray. And Mercer within three at 17-14. Jackson State showing that zone in the early going. No better way to shoot a team out of a zone than some perimeter jump shots to go in. Stepping into that one and knocking it down, Tierney Kelsey, the freshman from Memphis. Jackson State, again, a team that averages only 50 points a game, has 20 with 2:40 left to play in the first quarter. Well, another nice pass and a finish from Bautista. Ashley Locke finding Bautista again, and another and one opportunity coming up for Mercer. Boy, Bautista knows how to get open. The classic give and go. Able to play through the contact, and she'll have a chance for three. What a great start for Chelsea Bautista, the native of the Dominican Republic. How about Locke already with 3 assists for Mercer, as Jackson State was into the lane early. That's a lane violation on the Tigers. Looked like Montoya was a little bit too quick into the lane, and Bautista will get another chance. As we said, students out. Bears back in here tomorrow, or back in here Saturday, I should say, versus former SoCon team Appalachian State, as the Mountaineers will make the trip down the mountain. Final home non-conference game before league play begins in January versus Samford. Bears will make the trip up to Atlanta to play Kennesaw State. The last game of 2024. What a great feed and finish from Bautista. Have a first quarter, young lady. Her hustle paying off. She's got 8. And more importantly, she brings Mercer to within 2 as the Bears stay in that zone, trying to get Jackson State to cool off here in the early going. Another open 3 is good. The Tigers continue to stay white hot from the perimeter as Jalea Cotton knocks one in. And again, I remind you, this is a Jackson State team that averages just a little better than 50 points a game. They have 23 with 90 seconds left to play in the first quarter. Sometimes we just need to see some shots go in early, and they say good shooting is contagious, as Harris's long 2 won't come down, and here comes Jackson State. They're pushing the pace, trying not to let Mercer set up that zone, but for Jackson State, it really hasn't mattered. They've been able to shoot and score in the half court very effectively here in the first quarter. Dilworth, team's leading scorer, locked down defensively. Baseline jump shot, no good. Rebound battled for. Dilworth's got it. And with a little more than a minute left to play, Tigers will get another chance. A lot of contact, no foul. Ball being battled for underneath. A lot of traffic, and finally a foul called on Mercer. That may be on Locke. And if it is, that would be her second, which would be very, very important. Looks like they got it on, maybe on Harris. That's important for Mercer. A second foul on Locke in the first quarter. She may have had to sit out a considerable portion of that second period. So Montoya to the line. Scored the first points of the game for Jackson State. Knocks down the first. Of course, the Tigers on the SWAC. Been a struggle in the non-conference, but hoping they can hit their rhythm. And what a great opportunity tonight as SWAC play on the horizon for them. Still shooting very, very well. 64% here in the early going, 9 of 14 from the field. Mercer not too shabby themselves, 8 of 14, as they've been able to heat up a little bit since that timeout midway through the first quarter. Locke, who already has 3 assists, most of them to Bautista, as she's had a heck of a first quarter. 8 points for Bautista for the Bears. Shot clock running down. Locke down low, powers through and scores. Ashley Locke with her second field goal brings Mercer within 5, as these offenses not needing much time to get in rhythm. See what Jackson State can do on this final possession of the first quarter. They nearly have half their season average as the first quarter nearly winds down to 6 seconds on the drive. Good defense from Mercer. Clock down to 3, 2, shot at the buzzer. Will it count? It would have, but it's wide. And that is how the first quarter will end. So a lot of offense for a couple of teams that at times this year have struggled to put the ball in the basket. 10 minutes in the Bulls as well, wrapping up their midterms as well. So you don't have to get up and go to school tomorrow. Underway in the second half, both teams end up shooting very, very well. Bears shoot, actually, Mercer ends up shooting 60% in the first half, 1 of 1 from 3, 1 of 4 from the line. Jackson State, again, a team that has really struggled offensively at times. They shoot just about 33% as a team. They light up the nets, 56%, 3 of 4 from 3, 4 of 6 from the line, and held their own on the boards as well. They had an 11-4 rebounding advantage. They've been minus 11 in rebounding margin this year. Lock shot won't go. And again, 1 shot, and that is all for Mercer. Jackson State doing a sensational job on the glass as they took a 5-point lead into the second quarter, scored on their first possession of the second period, and they'll have a chance to extend it a little bit more. Well, Mercer has not made them work deep into the shot clock yet. That ball never hit the net, and out of bounds, it'll belong to Mercer. More changes for Jackson State. Mercer also making a change. As we said, Jackson State showed very early in that first quarter they were going to go into that bench. As you see, Mercer making a change as Harris comes out, and Michelle Clark-Hurd making the substitution. Back here Saturday, Appalachian State will be in town, and then on the road for Kennesaw State before league play begins with the Samford Bulldogs in town. Nothing like January, right? New year, league play. It's when it starts to get real. Locke guarded on the baseline. Shot clock under 10. Locke trying to do it all herself on this possession. Into the lane, left-handed, won't go. And once again, Jackson State not allowing Mercer any second chances. As Cotton brings it across the timeline. A Mercer team that's been minus 5 in rebounding margin this year, but a Jackson State team that's been nearly minus 12. Mercer trying to cool off. A Jackson State team is shooting very, very well. That misses. Gets just all air. And out of bounds to Mercer. Palaska is going to come back in. The native of Greece checks back in for the Bears. He just joined us. Jackson State shot very, very well in the first quarter. Wide open layup by Diarra. The left hand just a little too strong. And here comes Jackson State the other way. Here's another 3. That rims out. Jackson State, you remember, shot 3 of 4 from 3 in that first quarter as that's knocked away. Both teams trying to push tempo a little bit here in this first half. And both defenses doing a nice job of getting back. One of the trends that we've seen in this game is teams able to score in the half court. Both teams shoot very, very well in that first quarter. Took Mercer a little while to warm up. It felt like as the quarter went on, Started to shoot better and better. Teams have mixed up their defense a little bit. This looks more like maybe a man-to-man as Jackson State showed some zone defense early. Shot clock down to 6. Here is a 3. No good by Palaska. And check the stats. I don't think Mercer, they do. They have 1 offensive rebound. Jackson State with 5 offensive rebounds to this point. It felt like rebounding was going to be a story, and it has been in the early going. Been stuck on 27-20 here for a little bit. That's a wide open 3. That's too strong. And now Jackson State's starting to cool off a little bit. Some shots that were going in early. They have now missed 0 of their last 6. 3-0-6 without any points. So you had a feeling that this Tigers team was not going to continue to shoot as well as it has. And they've started to cool off. Problem is, Mercer has missed some shots as well. And along with that, no second chance opportunities. Locke is going to come back in. As Palaska will check out. Bautista doing some nice things early. She has 8 on 4 of 5 shooting. See if Mercer can get her the ball in a position to score. Again, this is a Mercer team that doesn't have a player averaging in double figures. Bennett leads the team with almost 9.5 points per game. But then you've got Locke, nearly 9. Aspen Johnson, we haven't seen tonight. Aaliyah Collins with nearly 8 points. So, again, it's a Mercer team that's figuring some things out. Of course, some lineup shuffling. You have some injuries that you deal with. Bears trying to figure some things out as that 3 is up and good by Smith. And here's Mercer now within 4. As we roll under 6 minutes left to play here in the first half. Nice pass down low, but she walked with it. Too many steps for Ruthie Magua, the native of Nairobi, Kenya. That was a really nice pass down low, but just too many steps. Just take another look at this 3 from Kayla Smith for Mercer. Their second 3 of the game to cut the Jackson State lead to 4. Nice pass into Locke, but a Jackson State arm in there to swipe it and then take it away. Good idea. Just a little too much air under that last pass. As you check the turnover numbers, Mercer committing 3. Jackson State with 4 turnovers. Here come the Bears the other way. So both offenses definitely starting to cool. Again, this was a first quarter that ended 25-20. And nearly 5 minutes into the second quarter. Just 2 points for Jackson State, just 3 points for Mercer. I had a feeling either one of these teams are going to be able to keep up the shooting that they had, and you have to believe both these coaches challenging their defenses to step up. There's Michelle Clark-Hurd, first season, the Western Kentucky graduate. All the great years in the sport that she has had, bringing that wealth of experience to Macon and trying to follow up a legend in Susie Gardner. Inbounded to Bautista. She has 8 early points to lead the Mercer scoring as a foul underneath. I think they're going to get Zoe Cooper as she had a knee in the Mercer player's backside. And there's Margaret Richards, her first season, the 2003 graduate of Nebraska. A lot of intensity on that sideline, as you might imagine. And the very festive mood for Coach Richards, as you see the sweaters there for the Jackson State coaching staff. Now another whistle, as we have whistles aplenty here in the second quarter. And that may end up being foul shots. If that was the 5th, that's the 4th team foul on Jackson State. So the next team foul on the Tigers will put Mercer at the line. There's a corner 3 that won't go off of a Bear's foot. Recovering for a moment was Smith. And we have a whistle, and I believe the possession is going to stay with Mercer. It will, but first, a timeout on the floor. Well, we thought the offenses may cool a little bit, and they have here in the second quarter. Mercer will have possession when we come back. Glad to have you along. Merry Christmas here from Macon, Georgia. Welcome back to Hawkins Arena. Mercer and Jackson State offenses have cooled off here midway through this second period. Both teams lighting up the scoreboards, both shooting better than 55% in that first half. But Jackson State has garnered just a single field goal. Mercer has a lone three-pointer. That is it. Nothing else as the defenses have locked down. They've locked down on this possession. Mercer able to get an offensive rebound, though, and a second opportunity. So that's a rare second chance here for the Bears in the first half. They have been few and far between. Shot clock resets to 20. And already down to 7 as a nice drive and a finish. Sensational drive and finish at the basket by Bennett, and she'll have a chance for 3. Mercer showing some aggressiveness, taking the ball to the basket and finishing through contact. Ariana Bennett, team's leading scorer. Her along with Locke, the only 2 Bears to start all 12 games this year. And a pretty darn good foul shooter as well. 37 over 47 coming into the night, knocks that one down. So this is the closest Mercer has been in a long time. 27-26. See if Jackson State can break out of their shooting slump. Another missed shot. Jackson State now 0 of their last 8. They've gone better than 5.5 minutes with no points, and now Mercer has a chance for the lead. Under 4 minutes left to play in the first half. Bears led 2-0, and it's been Jackson State ever since. All stolen. Jackson State taking it away as Zaria Glover gets the steal for the Tigers. After a first quarter that seemingly took forever, this second quarter has been a blur with both teams struggling to score the basketball. Possession is going to stay with the Tigers. And Margaret Richards continues to substitute liberally. And her deep bench being utilized here in the first half. Shot clock down to 8 as Jackson State inbounds. Tigers got to go. Drive in against Locke. She finishes through contact. Cotton will have a chance at 3. And the foul on Locke becomes her second. First, Mercer Bear to collect 2 fouls. So Locke with 4 points and 3 rebounds picks up her second foul. Also has 3 assists. But she'll stay in with 3:19 left to play in the first half. This one it looked like Mercer was maybe ready to take the lead. 3-point play sends it back out to 4. Locke, another beautiful pass as couldn't finish through contact was Bautista. Ball battled for, and Jackson State ultimately down with it. Locke's got to be careful battling for those balls. She already has 2 fouls. Cotton drives in and finishes. So after an 0 for 8 drought to see their lead dwindle to 1, Jackson State with buckets on their last 2 possessions, and the lead's back out to 6. What a response from the Lady Tigers. 2:35 left to play in the first half. It has been a struggle to score for Jackson State in the second quarter. With a couple of baskets, they force another turnover, and all of a sudden, the lead is out to 6. Diarra is back for Mercer, and Locke is going to check out. Michelle Clark-Hurd does not want her to get her third here in the first half. Mercer had cut it to 1. They have trailed by as many as 7 in the first half. As a and 1 opportunity coming for the Tigers. This is a heck of a response from Jackson State after they had suffered an 0 for 8 stretch. They'd seen their lead go down to 1, but what an aggressive take and finish from Dilworth. As we said, Dilworth, the team's leading scorer. He now has 6. Cotton leading all scorers with 10. As Dilworth will head to the line. Foul shot is good. So all of a sudden, this is an 8-0 run by Jackson State after their lead had been trimmed to a single point, as that is out of bounds and another turnover. Locke is coming back as Palaska will check out. So if you're just joining us, Jackson State led by 7 in the first half after just lighting the nets up. Took a 5-point lead into the second quarter. Then both offenses really struggled. Mercer cut it to 27-26, but now Jackson State has responded with 8 in a row and trying to get it into double digits. This now is the Tigers' biggest lead, trying to expand it even more as that 3 is no good. And with 1:40 to go, Mercer hustling up the court, trailing by 9. Harris, 90 seconds left. Looking down low, she's got Bennett down there. Good defense by Jackson State. Here's Harris open for 3. Again, all dark shirts under the basket with 1:15 to play. The Jackson State team, remember, minus 11 in rebounding margin coming into the night, has really owned the boards. They have an 18-13 advantage as it stands right now. Here's a 3 from the left wing. It's good. And the lead is double digits. Timeout, Mercer. 38-26, Jackson State. And a 30-second timeout asked for by the Bears with just under a minute to play. So 38-26. This is now an 11-0 run for the Tigers. They've hit 4 of their last 5. Mercer with 3 turnovers in the midst of a 3-minute-plus scoring drought. Final 2 home non-conference tune-ups for Mercer, and they have seen the visitors, Jackson State team, with just 1 win on the year, come in and build a double-digit lead on them in the first half. A little bit of pressure being put on by the Lady Tigers. Bears got to get this across. Still in the backcourt, and Bears able to break at a wide-open look. Smith, she doesn't want it, finds her teammate down low, and Diarra can't finish. Jackson State has a chance to really balloon this before the half. About a 14-second differential, shot clock, game clock. Boy, it looked like midway through this second quarter, Mercer was ready to maybe take the lead. They had cut it to 1, but they have been stuck on 26 points. Here's another 3. That one rims out no good. And Locke's got the rebound. Remember, Locke's in there with 2 fouls. Trying to play the last 15 seconds without picking up her 3rd. See what the Bears can do in this final possession for them here in the first half. Down to 8 seconds. 6 seconds on the clock. Harris, right of the lane with 3 seconds. Bears got to put it up. 1 second. Here's a desperation heave at the buzzer. No good. And Jackson State will take their biggest lead of the game into the halftime break. Bears had cut it to 1, but an 11-0 run as Mercer plays the last 4:15 without any. The other part of that, we talked about this a lot in the first half, the rebounding numbers. Mercer was out-rebounded 20-14. Again, they're minus 5 in rebounding margin as a team, but a Jackson State team that's been minus 11 in rebounding differential so far this season. They go down to Locke on the first possession of the third quarter. Another nice pass from Locke. She finds her teammate Bennett, but can't finish underneath. Ball's going to stay with the Bears. Boy, what great court vision by Ashley Locke. You look at her numbers to this point, she actually leads the team with 27 assists and has a few more tonight. Boy, nice move inside by Bennett, but she can't finish. So a couple of good looks there from the Bears, but not able to finish at the basket. And here comes Jackson State. This 12-point lead, their biggest of the game. Took a lot of momentum into the halftime locker room. Rebounded by Bautista. What a game she's had. She's going to bring it up herself. As Mercer looks to set up. Diarra. Bennett, team's leading scorer, loses the ball in traffic, and another Mercer turnover. Bears have committed 7. Jackson State has given it away just 4 times tonight. So not the start you wanted if you're Mercer offensively. A couple of kind of good looks there to start out the second half, just unable to get them to go down. Air ball from the Tigers, and now we have a whistle. And the shot clock reset when it shouldn't have. That ball never touched the rim. And our officials are right there on top of it. Make sure the shot clock is right. Tim Buckner right there. Chad Tucker, Torrey Durrett also with whistles tonight as they reset it. Or correct it, I should say. As Jackson State works in the half court. Both teams mixed up their defenses a little bit tonight. We've seen some zone and we've seen some man. Shot clock down to 5 as Locke bats it away over the baseline. And just 3 seconds will remain for the Lady Tigers as they'll inbound it. Baseline right. See what Jackson State can do with minimal time left on the shot clock. A jump shot is good as the buzzer goes off, and Jackson State's lead is 14. In transition, Bautista at the other end. She can't finish. And here comes Jackson State the other way. A team came into tonight. They lost their last 7 games, just 1-8 on the season. They have built a 14-point lead on the road. Good penetration. Stepping back, and the jump shot rolls off no good. Loose ball. Mercer had it for a moment, but lose it out of bounds. And it looked like that Mercer touched it last, but they're going to give it to the Bears. So a break. Let's take another look at that. Yeah, not sure. Did she touch it? Not sure. It's kind of tough to tell from that angle. So the Bears maybe catch a little bit of a break there and get a possession as the Lady Tigers have built their biggest lead of the game at 14. Mercer has been stuck on 26 points for a long time. There's a 3 that goes down. Much needed for Kayla Smith as she knocks in another 3. Much needed for the Bears as the lead had ballooned to 14 as down low is Montoya. She can't score. And a held ball underneath, alternating possession era, will keep it with the Lady Tigers. Montoya caught it in position down low. But good job by Mercer to get there and force the tie-up. Mercer shooting 38% as it stands right now. Jackson State at 1 point shooting in the early going, shooting 80%, down to 42%. You knew they would cool off, but you have to give credit to the Jackson State defense and the job they have done. Ball tipped and taken away. Mercer with the steal on the inbounds. Here come the Bears the other way, trying to cut deeper into this lead. Remember, it was 27-26 midway through the second period before Jackson State went on that run into double digits as a strong move at the basket. But again, Mercer can't finish through contact. And here comes Jackson State the other way. There's another block. Bears with 5 of those tonight, and now another held ball. And alternating possession error will give this to Mercer. So things getting a little choppy out there after a first half really marked with good shooting and teams hanging on to the basketball pretty well, but both defenses able to ramp up the pressure as Mercer looking to get this thing into single digits. Bears, as we said, coming off a 73-46 loss at Tulane, trying to get the offense going here tonight. There's a block for Jackson State. It'll stay with Mercer. Bears got their season started off with an impressive 75-52 win versus UNC Asheville. Won a low-scoring game at home versus North Carolina A&T. Beat Charleston Southern here in Macon. Dropped a tough one at home to Charlotte, 43-42. course, that Georgia Tech game here at home where the Jackets made the trip down 75 as Locke's jump shot rims off. Bears had a chance there to cut it to single digits, but the ball just falling off the rim. Man defense being shown by the Bears as a three from the top of the key won't go, and Locke pulls down the rebound. Ashley Locke continuing her good work on the glass as she pulls down her 5th rebound for the Bears. That rims off. There is a lid on that basket for the Bears. Several opportunities to get it down as Dilworth finishes through contact. She'll have a chance for 3. Team's leading scorer, Dilworth, able to draw the foul. A 3-point play opportunity coming up for Talia Dilworth. Take another look at this last drive and finish through the contact of Utomi. If she can knock this foul shot down, she can match Jackson State's biggest lead. As you see the sign there on the bench, and I think, according to her bench, that is her 1,000th point. So congratulations to Talia Duckworth. With that foul shot, she has 1,000 points in her career. What a moment for that young lady. And as we said, ties the biggest lead that her team has seen tonight, 14 points. Mercer trying to put something together here as we approach the midway point of this third quarter. Nice pass down low, and fouled on the way up is Utomi, the freshman from Detroit. So Utomi will head to the stripe. Young lady who has come off the bench exclusively this year, averaging almost 4 points a game. She'll have another one coming. Bears at the line tonight, just 2 of 6. Pretty good foul shooting team, as that one's good. Smith is coming back for the Bears. Looks like Mercer's, I thought they may put on a little bit of pressure here, a little bit of token pressure. Just a slow progress up the court a little bit as Jackson State able to get it across. See if Mercer can force some turnovers, limit Jackson State to just 1 shot as a beautiful spin in the lane. And the finish down low for Jackson State. This is now the biggest lead of the game for the Tigers at 15 as they start to knock on the door of their season average with still 5 minutes left to play in the third quarter. Locke is fouled as she goes to the basket. Thought it may be a clean block, but a foul spotted, and foul shots coming on the way for the Tigers. Take another look at that last foul as Locke driving in and draws the foul. Locke on the year, 76% foul shooters at 26 of her 34 foul shots coming into tonight. And that one rolls off. The Bears continuing to struggle now, just 3 of 8 at the line. Jackson State is at 7 of their 9 opportunities tonight. Locke's second one is good. Good rotation and down for Flowery Branch, Georgia's Ashley Locke. She'll check out. One thing you can say about Mercer, when you look at them this year, they are a fourth quarter team. They have scored more points in the fourth quarter than any other quarter this year, and it's frankly not close. So if you're looking for a bit of a silver lining, maybe that's it for these Mercer Bears. Timeout on the floor. 14-point lead for Jackson State matches their biggest lead of the arena. My name is Phil Cox. Merry Christmas to you from wherever you may be joining us. Bears trying to unwrap some offense here, midway point of the third quarter. Bears had that stretch in the first half where they were really clicking. Able to, especially some easy baskets. Bautista able to score. She has 8 points. But other than that, Mercer has been able to get to the basket. That was a very contested look. But Mercer's had some uncontested looks that they just haven't been able to finish. And speaking of finishing, Dilworth able to finish. And this is now the biggest lead. I think I may have told you going to break, 14 points was the biggest. It had been 15. Now it's 60. And Mercer has officially got a mountain here in the second half. Bears, as that is a travel called on Diarra. Thought she may have gotten fouled, but apparently traveled before she did. And a turnover for the Bears. This was a 27-26 game at the midway point of the second quarter, and the Mercer offense has found it mighty difficult to score. Jackson State has hit their last 3 field goals. Mercer over their last 5. Bears have gone better than 3 minutes with no points. Baseline jump shot, no good, but another offensive rebound. Checking the rebounding numbers. A +8 advantage for Jackson State on the glass. Very few second chance opportunities for Mercer. As the shot clock's down to 7. Jackson State has it taken away. Mercer looking for some easy offense. Smith finds her teammate down low, and that one goes. Finally, the lid off the basket as Talia Harris is able to score, and someone finally took the top off that hoop, and now we have a whistle and a stoppage for a Jackson State player. Looked like a Lady Tiger had a cramp maybe and needed to get off, so a change for the Tigers. The lead has been as big as 16 for Jackson State. 14 as it stands right now. Can Mercer force some turnovers, get some rebounds, and cut into this lead? Another easy basket as Brett able to score, and the lead's back to 16. With another basket, Jackson State's going to have their season average. A team that struggled to score at times this year, a Mercer team that has had a little difficulty putting the ball in the basket. Locke is coming back. For the Bears. With 2:48 left to play in the third quarter. Mercer looking for a spark, a surge, a spurt. That won't help. There's a turnover. Here comes Jackson State with a 16-point lead. Well, open look, an even more open look, and it's good. My goodness, 52-33. Jackson State team that enters just 1-8. But one of those wins coming over, that lone win coming over the ETSU Bucks as a foul and a bucket as well. And the lead has swollen to 21 with a chance to grow even more with a 3-point play opportunity. Boy, just taking the ball away and coming in transition. Jackson State has seen the lead grow to 54-33. So timeout asked for by the Bears with 2:14.
Credit.
Back from timeout, the foul shot by the Tigers is good. And they lead by 22 here on the road. Mercer trying to find some offense here in the third quarter. As the zone being shown by the Lady Tigers. Shot clock down to 6. And a turnover. Jackson State seeing it all go their way here in the second half. And open 2 is no good, but Montoya runs down the rebound. The boards have belonged to Jackson State tonight, as they're going to get another opportunity It seems like the loose balls have been collected by the ladies in the dark uniforms. And again, taking you back to midway point of the second quarter. Remember, Jackson State, as there's 3 on the shot clock, 2 on the shot clock, prayer thrown up no good. Montoya's got the rebound. That won't go. And finally, Palaska runs down the rebound. Remember, Jackson State had an early 7-point lead. Things were going their way. But then they started to cool off at the start of the second quarter, and Mercer cut it to 1. It was a 27-26 game. But then an 11-0 run to give the Lady Tigers a double-digit lead into the break. Mercer just not really gotten things going in the third quarter. Jackson State has continued to be aggressive and force turnovers, crash the boards. And that'll get the lead back to 22 as a Mercer player is down in the lane. And that looks like Palaska, after Montoya scored in the post, Palaska going down. And she is helped up by her teammates. And I think they're going to go look at this. Let's take another look. Ooh. So Montoya getting the basket. So they're going to take a look at this. And from what we're being told, officials are looking to see if there was maybe something with Montoya's elbow there that would constitute something being added on. And here's another angle from the baseline. So Montoya with the move in the post, and you see the elbow making contact with Palaska. And as we understand in college, the verbiage of excessive and unnecessary being the key, the key phrase there. And it all depends on if that is considered excessive and unnecessary, then that would constitute, you would think, something of the flagrant 1 capacity. We'll see how that's adjudicated. If anything, Jackson State, the bigger story here is the fact they have been able to pull this out to a 22-point lead as officials continuing to looking for maybe another angle on that last sequence where Montoya scored. So here's that look again from the baseline with Montoya able to get the basket, but the elbow making contact. So we'll see what's adjudicated on this. Obviously, 27 seconds left in the third quarter, and we'll see what comes of that last play there underneath the basket. Other officials going to take a look. They're continuing to look, and I believe the officials want another angle at that last play under the basket, and saw a couple of angles there that seemed to indicate some contact there at the face. But again, have to see if that's deemed excessive and unnecessary. And that baseline look again, you see the physicality down low with Montoya and Palaska battling in the post. And from that angle, and we'll see what's adjudicated. You would think that would fall under the definition of unnecessary and excessive, but we'll see what this officiating crew decides here with just a little time left in this third quarter. And they're going to call both coaches. No, they're not. Thought they were going to call both coaches in, and so we're going to play on. See what we've got.
He just got a basketball move. We don't have anything.
Okay. Being told by one of our officials, just a basketball move. So that's obviously where judgment comes into that. And we play on with 20 seconds left to play in the third quarter. Nice move down low. And tell you, Mercer has been able to get to the basket, but those balls have just hung on the rim and fell off. Under 10 seconds left to play. Jackson State is going to take a 20-point plus lead into the fourth quarter. It won't be 25 as that misses. Actually, this will count if it goes, and it's just long. But the Lady Tigers out of the SWAC will take a healthy advantage. Mercer trying to mount a heck of a charge in the fourth quarter as they find themselves trailing 57-35 at the start of the final 10 minutes. Just taking a look at some numbers. Mercer has only turned the ball over 11 times, but Jackson State has 19 points off of 11 turnovers. Talk about taking advantage of your opportunities. As an open three won't go. Locke's got the rebound for Mercer. Well, if the Bears are going to flirt with this, you feel like they've got to start now. There's a good start. Diarra will have a chance at three. It's exactly what you need if you're going to make the opponent think about this in the fourth quarter. But Diarra, without wasting any time, she'll have a chance at three. The Bears in the second and third periods shoot just 5 for 25 in the second and third periods after a lightning fast start. They ended up going 9 of 15 in the first half. And Jacksonville State cooled off too. They shot just 38% in that third quarter, so not anything to write home about necessarily. But in the process, building a 22-point lead. Good balance from Jackson State. Dilworth with 12, 11 for Bassett and Barrett, also 10 for Cotton. Mercer with 9 from Smith, all from three, leading the Mercer scoring effort. Boy, a lot of bodies going down low. And Dilworth finally collects the loose ball for Jackson State. Another open three from the wing, and that one's good. For Jackson State, their 6th three of the game. And the lead is 23. Mercer, as we said, a team that doesn't foul a lot, as a jump shot from Bennett is good. For Bennett, she now has 9, tied with Smith for the Mercer team lead. Saying about Mercer, a team that doesn't foul a lot. Mercer has seen Jackson State go 8 of 10 from the foul line. So a solid effort from the stripe. Jackson State team that shoots just about 67%, but 80% on the road this evening. A good take to the basket. But Locke was there, a couple other Bears there to help defensively. Unselfish pass from Bautista as she gets it back and scores. So lead down to 19 with 8 minutes to go. Mercer's got to force some turnovers, get some easy baskets, get to the line. You feel like this is a heck of a mountain, but if you could get it to figure out a way, as Jackson State's going to take a timeout. Back underway here in the fourth quarter. Mercer trying to cut into this and looking to force the turnover. Those loose balls, Jackson State has run them down all night, and the shot clock went off, but the ball must have touched the rim. At any rate, it's going to go over to Mercer as it's out of bounds. We were saying this before we get to break. You got a heck of a mountain here if you're Mercer. You get this to under 10 with maybe 3 or so minutes to play. It's still a heck of a mountain, but you feel like you're giving yourself a chance as Diarra, a held ball is forced, and the arrow will keep it with Mercer. 7:17 to play. And with some pressure, some turnovers, maybe getting to the line, you get this to under 10 with about 3 minutes to go. You feel like maybe you've got a chance, but you can't have too many empty possessions. There's a good look. Lead down to 17 with 7 minutes to play. Mercer needing some turnovers and cannot allow second chance opportunities, as the clock obviously is a 6th player for Jackson State right now. And if you're the Tigers, You don't want to rush anything as far as a bad shot as that falls off. And again, there's an offensive rebound. Held ball is going to keep it with Jackson State. Unfortunately tonight for the Bears, that is now 17 offensive rebounds. Conversely, Mercer has just 6. And the rebounding edge is plus 14 for Jackson State. They came in minus 11 in rebounding margin, and they have out-rebounded the Bears by 14 tonight. And you say, why is Jackson State at one point had a 22-point lead? That's one of the reasons. And that loose ball is run down by Mercer. Well, 6.5 minutes to play. Mercer trying to ignite the crowd here in Hawkins Arena. They haven't had much to cheer about tonight. There's Diarra. That won't go on the take, but a second opportunity, but she stepped out of bounds. A Bear had it underneath the basket, stepped out of bounds, able to score. That would have cut it to 15. But it'll give the ball over to the Tigers. Some pressure being put on by Mercer, not surprisingly. Trying to get a takeaway as Diarra fouls in the backcourt. She fouls Dilworth. Foul trouble really hasn't been a problem for either team tonight. Both teams pretty good at staying out of foul trouble. And that's just the first team foul on Mercer, so still a ways to go before either team shoots on non-shooting fouls. Good job by breaking the pressure by the Tigers. Talk about turnovers. Mercer has only turned it over 12 times, but as we said, the points off turnovers for Jacksonville State, the way they've been able to turn those into points, 19 points off of 12 Mercer turnovers. Another offensive rebound, but a takeaway. Montoya had it, but Utomi came in there and took it away. Under 6 minutes to play. Bears cannot afford any more empty trips. Bennett. This is Bautista. She got off to a great start with some early offense. In the post, scoring down low is Bennett. And it's 60-45. The lead has been as many as 23. This is a 6-0 run for Mercer. Jackson State, over their last 5 and have gone 3-21 without any points. There's a hand check called on the Bears with 5:14 to go. So, Mercer, you got to tip your cap to them. Give them some credit. Not laying down here in the fourth quarter. And again, if you're the Bears, you can get this under 10 with even 2 minutes to play. Feel like you're giving yourself a chance. Need to get stops. Can't allow offensive rebounds, and turnovers are even better. As the clock rolls under 5 minutes here in Macon. Shot clock at 5. Ball lost on the ground. Arrow will give it to Mercer. So a little bit of energy now for the Bears with still time left here as the Tiger is down on the floor. Shot clock was running down as the Tigers lost the ball. And still down is a Tiger there in the half court as they'll take a look at her. So this is an 8-0 Mercer run over the last 3:58. As you hope this is just a cramp at this point in the game. Taking another look at that sequence. The shot clock was running down. Good defense by Diarra to force the tie up, and the Arrow giving the ball to Mercer is looks like that Verity is all right as she hobbles off. And again, you hope that's just a cramp. Nothing some fluids won't help. 4:56 to play here in Macon. My name's Phil Cox. Bears, after a good start offensively, 9 of 15 from the field. Saw the second and third quarter combined. They get just 5 of 25 from the field, but starting to heat up in the fourth quarter and still time here. 4:50 to play. Trying to get it down to a workable margin. Bears have enough time left to pull off what would be a A comeback of almost biblical proportion. That's a walk. It's going to give it back to Jacksonville, back to Jackson State. More pressure being put on by the Bears, trying to force some turnovers. Some takeaways here late in the game. That's thrown away. They were trying to get it to Montoya, and first-year head coach Margaret Richards looks at her backcourt and says, "It's just slow down a little bit. We got a big lead here. Time is on our side." DR brings it across with 4:30 to go. Bears not out of this yet. Trying to dig out of a huge hole here at home. Appalachian State, the Mountaineers will come calling on Saturday, but trying to pull off a big-time comeback. That'll help. Bears to the line. Well, if you're Mercer, one place that you cannot spend enough time here as the clock winds down is the foul line. Mercer tonight struggled a little bit at the stripe. 4 of 10, a team that shoots 73%, second best in the conference. As you told me, we'll head to the line. Figure Mercer will put on some more pressure here, as the lead is down to 13. It was 23 at one point. At the 2:09 mark of the third quarter. Actually, it was a 23-point lead at the 4:16 mark of at the start of the fourth quarter. So Mercer has taken pretty sizable bite off this advantage. Shot clock down to 6. This is a spot where Mercer has to get the defensive rebound if the Tigers don't score, but that'll get the lead back out to 15. Much needed basket. First basket for Jackson State in nearly 5 minutes. Mercer's got to go here down 15. As the Bears tonight from 3 of 7. You'd love some triples here as we come down the stretch. A costly turnover there with 3:20 to go. Well, Mercer got it down to 13. We said, could they get it? Could they get it under 10 with even 2 minutes left to play? That last basket by the Lady Tigers getting it back out to 15. As the shot clock rolls under 10. And it will remain with Jackson State. Big story tonight, rebounding. A plus 11 edge as it stands right now for Jackson State, and a plus 10 edge on the offensive glass. One of the big stories tonight, second chance points. Kind of amazing with that many offensive rebounds, just 7 second chance points for Jackson State. So it's not like they've taken advantage of all those offensive rebounds. But even still, a heck of a performance on the road from the visitors. That rims out. And here come the Tigers the other way with a 15-point lead. Will be fine to take some time off the clock. Bears got it down to a margin you thought, well, maybe they can make a game of this, get it into single digits and have a chance coming down the stretch. You have to tip your cap to the Bears. A lot of fight, a lot of grit. As we said, trailed by 23 at one point. Good effort there by Bennett to have the and one opportunity. More good offensive balance for the Bears tonight. Bennett scores there, so she's got 15, a chance for her 16th point. That ball just fell right to her, and she'll have a chance for 3. Free throw looks good, is good. So leads down to 12. And this is the closest Mercer has been in a long time. More pressure being put on. Bears need a turnover and need some points quick. Jackson State able to break the pressure. Lady Tigers will be in no hurry to put anything up, you would think. Cotton, who's had a good night with 10 points tonight. Leading scorer has it right now for the Tigers with 6 on the timer. She'll go to work. Mercer grabs the loose ball. 90 seconds to play. Chance to get it down to 10, and now Diarra will head to the line. Well, it's never over till it's over. We've seen crazier stuff. As we said, this lead at one point was 23 early in the fourth quarter, and Mercer has whittled. You would think at some point Mercer would start to foul to stop the clock. But Jackson State on the line, even though the Tigers have been good from the line. 8 of 10, team that over the course of the year shoots to 67%. So we'll see how the Bears play it as the second one is good. Lead down to 10 with 1:28 to go. We'll see what Mercer does. Pressure being put on by the Bears. See if Mercer decides to foul. And that is thrown away. Well, hold on now. 1:23 to go. 10-point game. Cannot dilly-dally if you're Mercer. Have to go and go quickly. 1:20 to play. Free ball has not been a big part of this Mercer attack tonight. There's the drive. It won't go, and a loose ball collected by Jackson State. A lot of contact there. If that had gone, it would have gotten it to 8. Jackson State just walking it across the timeline with 1 minute to go. That ball had gone, it would have been an 8-point game, and with about a minute to play, you wonder if maybe Mercer would try and foul, as an offensive foul is called on Jackson State with 54 seconds left. Cotton called for the illegal pick. So 54 seconds left to play in Hawkins Arena. Bears need points, and they need them in a hurry. A valiant effort from the Bears, as they're trailing by as many as 23 in this fourth quarter. Trying to get something going with the clock running down. There's a basket with 33 seconds left. Leads down to 8. And a foul at midcourt, and this is going to be an intentional foul. So Diarra commits the intentional foul with 28 seconds left. You don't see that very often, especially when a team is trying to foul at the end of the game. And you may say, well, she didn't go for the ball, and that's fair. It's, a lot of times you just won't see that called in that situation because a team is trying to foul, but an intentional foul nonetheless called on Mercer. Foul shot is good, and you would think with that being an intentional foul for all intents and purposes, that's going to do it here in Hawkins Arena. Second one is no good, and ball will be put in at the point of interruption. Grabbing around the waist, that probably was what got that there, even though, again, situation where you're trying to foul, that the optic of the waist grab probably the ultimate deciding factor there. So Mercer certainly looks like they are going to drop to 4-9 with Appalachian State on the horizon. The Mountaineers coming in to Hawkins Arena on Saturday for the last game before the Christmas holiday. It certainly looks like Jackson State is going to pick up a super impressive win in a place very difficult to win. Just their second win of the year and 2 wins against SoCon opponents. As you see some of the Christmas attire, apparently there's going to be a ugly Christmas sweater competition on Saturday, so that should be interesting. As Jackson State's going to inbound it, leading by 9 with 27 seconds left. And foul by Smith will put, I'm not sure, let's see, that's just the 4th team foul. So one more is needed by the Bears. That intentional foul. Of course, not a common foul. That's automatic foul shots, no matter how many team fouls. So the next common foul will put Jackson State at the line for 2. And a foul with 25.2 seconds left. And as you know, rule change from several years ago, no more 1-and-1 in women's college basketball. All 2 shots. So the Tigers coming in, as we said, averaging just a tick over 50 points a game. They are going to leave Macon with at least 64. And the post-game meal will taste extra good. A win on the road will always do that. Been very good at the line tonight. Have the Tigers in a timeout asked for by the Bears. .30-second timeout asked for by Mercer here with 25.2 seconds left. Bears team that, as we said, good balance offensively. A valiant effort really in the fourth quarter by Mercer. Down 23, it looked like that may end up being quite the margin for Jackson State, but Mercer able to cut into it and make it competitive here in the final 10 minutes. Great to have a local high school here tonight with the Mercer students out on an exam break, Christmas holiday. Always such a great environment here in Macon inside Hawkins Arena. No matter the time of the year, no matter the opponent. .25 seconds left. Jackson State leading by 11. Where you go back to that second quarter when Jackson State went on that run, took that lead into the break, and really never looked back after that run, taking a healthy lead into the locker room and just expanding it. Out of the timeout, Mercer not able to hold on to the ball, and a turnover by the Bears with 17 seconds left. Now a Jackson State timeout. Well, you got them, may as well use them. All those teachable moments, you never know, can come into play later on in the year. Those coaching opportunities for these coaches. Just no substitution for those reps out there on the floor. Always coaching, always learning. That's obviously the goal of these coaches. Of course, both in their first year, guiding these programs. It's going to be a heck of a win for the Lady Tigers as they head back and prepare for SWAC play. As we said, back here again on Saturday, Appalachian State Mountaineers will be in town. Wouldn't expect Mercer to foul here with 15 seconds left in an 11-point game. We will have foul shots. So Cotton will head to the line for 2. Jackson State's going to clear the lane with 10.7 seconds left and a double-digit lead for JSU. Team that came in shooting just 67% from the line, but they have been solid from the stripe tonight. Get the second one to go. 66-54 with 6 seconds left. Viora has been aggressive taking the ball to the basket. Can't get that one to go. Stay with the Bears with 1.8 seconds remaining. Well, it's going to be a tough one to swallow for Mercer. Good news. quick turnaround Saturday versus Appalachian State, where they'll look to get back on the winning side of things. Shot at the buzzer won't go, and that'll do it. Jackson State comes into Macon and gets their second win of 2024. Hands Mercer their 9th loss of the season, as Mercer will look to rebound on Saturday. Before we break away, we will try to get the